Mustard Seed, we are looking at that part of Matthew's Gospel towards the end of the Gospel account where there's a lot of stuff about being ready and even judgment to a certain extent. Though I don't think judgment actually means what we often think it means when it comes to the Gospels. We often think it's about punishment, but the Gospel accounts generally have a lot of accountability over punishment. Sure, there's some weeping and gnashing of teeth, but that's highly metaphorical, and it's really about giving an account for the way that you've lived your life. And I think there will be some weeping and gnashing of teeth on that score for some. This week we're looking at Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30. Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30. It's the story that we know of as the talents, and it's where a landowner entrusts to his servants amounts of money or resources that they are to look after while he goes away, and then comes back and asks them to give an account. And there's some really fascinating features to this story, not least that they don't get the same amounts, so in that sense it's not fair, but it's really appropriate because they're given according to their capacity. So that's actually better than fair, that's appropriate. It's not actually fair to give somebody more than they can handle, or less than they can handle. And there's, I think, a real attempt here on Jesus' part to ignite a deep-seated trope in the heart of the people of Israel, and that is that everything about their world has been kind of entrusted to them. It doesn't belong to them. What belongs to them is a relationship of a covenant with the God to whom everything belongs. And that has a certain accountability built into the dynamic. And Jesus tells this story to highlight the nature of that relationship and why it's important that we make an appropriate response, because to fail to make an appropriate response, as we know, is not appropriate. In fact, there's a judgment in that, and Jesus describes it in very graphic terms, but actually I think the judgment is within ourselves. We actually end up kind of with what we were after, and that can be a great thing or it can be a great judgment depending on what it is that we've been after. So we're going to talk about that on Sunday at Mustard Seed. We've also got coming up this week our Taizé service on Friday 17th, this Friday. Come along if you want to have a bit of meditation, some prayer. There will be an opportunity for prayer for healing, certainly prayer for justice and for peace. And then coming up not long away is, of course, our live nativity in the Quarry Green. So looking forward to that on the 8th of December. Please come. It's a great celebration. We always have a lot of fun, and we retell the story of the Nativity. It's a classic. That's probably enough to be getting on with. We will see you at Mustard Seed.